you're actually taking the tour in their footsteps, and then at the end you check to see if you were one of the survivors or not. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a really neat experience. Roundabouts here in Ireland.
Yeah.
Roundabouts everywhere, but they're pretty easy to use here, I think. I think they're less confusing than in the States because, for one thing, they don't have...
roundabout, take the first exit on R624.
See? Roundabout. But in the States, there's so many multiple lane roundabouts, and those are really difficult. Anyway, we're just about to Cobh. It's spelled C-O-B-H.
1.8 miles. Turn left on L2989.
But it's pronounced Cobh, and we're going to a museum called the Titanic Experience. Cobh was the last port of emigration for those going to America. So if you're of Irish heritage and you're an American, there's a really good chance that your ancestors came from Cobh. We're back on really pretty little narrow roads again.
Which is what you came to Ireland for.
Which is what I came to Ireland for. I did not expect a lot of what we would call interstate. They call them motorways that crisscross the country. And there's even along the side of the motorways, though, it's pretty because there's mostly farmland. You're looking for Canon O'Leary Place.
Oh wow, look at that.
Oh. Wow. Welcome to Cobh. This is Cobh. That is, I did not expect that. That is very impressive. Just pull over here.
Damn.
It says no entry. He was trying to...
He's like me.
He was trying to enter. Anyway. So this is beautiful. Teeny weeny little town, but this ginormous cathedral steeple right here, right on the water. We're in the town of Cobh. It's a seaside town. It is so cute. So this is the Titanic Experience Museum. This is what we're going to see. Besides the ocean. Because I think Mark would have just been happy just to see the ocean. The concept of this museum is really neat. When you get your ticket, you get the name of one of the passengers, what their age was, and what class they were sailing in. So you're actually taking the tour in their footsteps, and then at the end, you check to see if you were one of the survivors or not. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a really neat experience.
And very nice they are too. If you think this is impressive, you should see the grand staircase and the dining room. It spans the whole width of the ship. Did you know that? I can seat well over 500 diners. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remain calm. We have hit an iceberg and we are preparing to abandon ship. I'm sure it's just a precaution. We are launching the lifeboats. Please make your way quickly but calmly to B-deck.
So nobody panic, there's plenty of space in the lifeboat.
Stay with them. But the last thing I saw was the priest waving his hand towards us, like as if it might have been absolving all.
Some of the women wouldn't get into the boats because they were afraid to jump. Others wouldn't leave their husbands. All the men could do was watch. Things looked so grim.
John Cargill is my name, able seaman on board the Carpathia. We're here to help you. We were 2 days into our journey from New York to Fiume in Europe when we got your SOS. That was 12:35 AM on the 15th of April. Engine room nearly full was your last message.
Well, I'm really windblown. It was, it's definitely a seaside town. It's the cutest little town. It's got very steep, narrow roads. You don't need probably more than a day there, but it'd be nice if you could spend a whole day. We just spent a few hours. We mainly went to see the Titanic Experience Museum, and Mark wanted to see the ocean. So
it's a beautiful sea town. The pastel colors, it has such character.
Yeah, it really does have a lot of character, and the buildings are painted really pretty, and old boats.
Well, there's working boats there.
They're working boats.
There are crab pots and nets to be seen. It's quite an experience.
Yeah, but it's a historic town due to the fact that it was the last port where the Titanic stopped before it sank. So they really paid tribute to that, and the museum was very nicely done. The tour doesn't take but about 45 minutes, I'd say, and then there's some museum little films and pieces of audio that you can listen to, and numerous other things that you can look at, educational type and supplemental stuff to the tour, which is worth taking a look at. So now we are headed to our B&B, which is nearby in Cork. According to the GPS, it's only about 10 miles. And incidentally, Waze still did a great job getting us out of the windy little tiny roads there in Cobh. So
a lot of one-way streets.
Yes, a lot of one-way streets, and it did a good job of navigating us through it. Be aware, if you are in a manual shift car, it is very hilly. So if you're not comfortable driving a manual shift on extreme hills, you might want to park outside of town and walk in or something.
Park up top just beyond the church. We saw several parking spaces there. It's a good walk up and down, but if you are not comfortable driving up and down hills and trying to park on a hill, parallel parking, just park up top and walk on down.
Yeah, it's tricky because it's so hilly. There's pretty much only parallel parking on the streets, and like I said, most of them are hilly. But when you get into town, you'll almost immediately see the cathedral because it stands up on the highest point in town, and it's so tall. It's just, I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. I kept looking at it. It was just so amazing. But it's definitely worth a stop over for the day, or and then we did see several bed and breakfasts there, or you know, just a stop for a few hours like we did.